Hey everybody, I wanted to talk to you about a little personal challenge of mine that I came up with early 2018, right before the season. If you don't know though, my wife and I, we moved full-time to the Catskills in June of 2016. We were living in Manhattan. We decided we just wanted to move up to the house, just full-time, and get away from the city. That first season I was here full-time, it was tough. It was absolutely tough for me. I really kind of missed the best part, which would be May. There was still some time left, but we were getting ready for it. At that time, she wasn't actually my wife. We were going to get married in October 15th, the last day of the season. And so we were getting ready for the wedding. We were getting the house ready to be living in full time. There wasn't a ton of time to fish. But 2017, I met Bryn Bodie, and he took me to the Upper East, showed me around there, and I realized kind of how the Delaware, which I never really fished before I moved up here full time, was so different than what I used to fish, was the Beaverkill and the Willow, and how the Delaware is not as forgiving as those two rivers. And 2017, I really learned a lot. I mean, I spent nearly 100 days on the Upper East, and I figured out, hey, the July and August, that's not where you want to be. You don't want to be on the Upper East July and August. And I started to look at Paul Weiner's Upper Delaware book a lot more, and figure out some spots in the West that I could go to. And I really learned a lot in 2017, the 2017 season. Then as I got closer to the 2018 season, I said, I really learned a lot, and I was excited about learning a little bit of the West, because it opened up a whole new part of the season. In reality, if you only fish the Upper East, the season's kind of over. July, I mean, it's really over. And I said, I really got to learn some more stuff. And then I said, you know what, maybe I need to just challenge myself, to learn different areas and catch fish on different areas, really learn them well. And that's when I kind of came up with the personal challenge, which is to catch a 20-inch fish, or better, obviously, on each of the 5 major sections of the Delaware River. And those 5 sections are the Upper West, from Stylesville, the dam, down to the Hale Eddy Bridge. The Upper East, which is from Downsville at that dam all the way down to what's considered Jaws, which is the junction between Beaverkill and the Upper East. And then the Lower West, which is Hale Eddy, down to junction of East and West. And the Lower East, which is the junction of Beaverkill in the East, down to that East and West junction. And the 5th being junction down to the bridge at Callicoon. Those are the 5 major sections. And it was I loosely talked about it with myself. I said, this would be great if I could do something like this. It's obviously extremely hard, but I wanted to try it. And so what happened in that season, 2018 season? I did well. I did very well in the 2018 season. I got 3 out of the 5. I got the Upper West, the Lower West, and the Lower East. And you might be saying, well, you fished the Upper East the most. How could you possibly have not done it on the Upper East? I know. It's tough to even talk about. But I mean, I caught some good fish on the Upper East. I caught a 19.5. It's not a 20, so it doesn't count. I am happy to say that all of those 20s I caught with people with me. My friend Mike, my friend Jason Taylor. They were there during the 320s, 20 pluses, or 20 pluses that I got. Mike was there for the 19.5, and I really didn't fish the main stem at all, maybe twice. And so I think I did good, but I kind of really saw how hard it was. It's a hard challenge. And so the rules I laid out for myself. Again, this is a personal challenge of mine. So, I had some rules, but I wasn't really crazy about them. But there was a couple that I was crazy about. One is that it's got to be wade fishing. I wanted to catch them all wading, no boat. Now that doesn't mean I couldn't float down on a boat and get out and fish. I think that's okay, because in reality, just because the boat lets you hit more spots, I mean, what are you going to do? Do I have to walk to the spots now? I can't use my car. So it's as long as you're casting while wading and you catch the fish on a dry fly. That's the second one. Dry fly. Now on a merger is a dry fly as far as I'm concerned, spinner, or just a high, like a Catskills fry or something. So high or low, in the film doesn't make a difference to me. No wet flies, no submerged flies. So those are the two big ones. Wade fishing, got to be on a dry fly. And then there were some other weird things. Hey, what happens if you're standing in Junction, on the east and west junction? Where are you really catching the fish? Bard Parker is kind of like a weird spot. Is the water mixed, or what side are you standing on? It's a little bit strange. Hail Eddy Bridge happens to be a ripple, so it's not that big of a deal. But let's say, for instance, you were standing on the bridge. Does it matter where you catch the fish or where you land the fish? I mean, can you stand above the bridge, catch the fish, drag it down below the bridge? So, there's some weird stuff there, but I didn't really worry about that too much. Maybe there's some asterisks fortunately for me in 2018 there was no asterisk. All these things they weren't anywhere near those spots. But if there was, I don't know. I basically just wanted to be in the spirit of the challenge. If I had to throw an asterisk on something, okay, if it wasn't in the spirit of the challenge. And so the reason I bring this up is that 2019, probably going to talk about this a lot, hopefully, if the rain stops and we can actually get some fishing in. But you're going to hear it from me a lot, and I want to make sure that I can reference something and that you just understand what is this. And I'm referring to it as the Delaware River Dry Fly Challenge. And it's something that I'm going to try and do this season. Will I be able to do it? I doubt it. It's a very hard challenge. I talked to some people about it. I really haven't told many people about it, but Mike Konechny, Bryn Bodie, Jason Taylor, there's a few people out there, Zach Anderson, that I've talked to about it, and we've all basically said this is pretty hard. Okay, it's hard to catch a 20 anyway. Streamer, nymph, whatever. Dry fly, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to catch them on a dry fly. Not only that, but it's hard to catch them on the 5 different sections of the river. And to know those sections well enough, or know somebody that knows them well enough that can take you around there, it's very difficult. That is a hard thing to do. It's not just about being a good fisherman. It's also about knowing the water, knowing the system. It's difficult. And also the dates too. I guess I didn't talk about that. April 1st to October 15th. Not that you're likely to catch a fish in January on a dry fly, but I wanted to put a time limit on it. It's the entire season. It's April 1st to October 15th. But it's not the entire year. If you don't know, a good portion of the Delaware is open all year round. Border water is what it's called. It's any water that separates Pennsylvania and New York. Because in Pennsylvania, you can do whatever the hell you want, right? you can own a rocket launcher and shoot fish with a rocket launcher. Since it's a border, basically New York and Pennsylvania have a deal. They say, okay, you know what, you can fish all year round on those waters. Anything else, not all year round. And there are spots that are open into November. I don't care about that. Traditional dates are April 1st to October 15th. The 1st and the 15th count. And that's the challenge, the Delaware River Dry Fly Challenge. And if those spots that I mentioned, Hail Eddy Bridge, Jaws, Junction Pool, if those don't make any sense, you should pick up this book right here. This is like this is it. I'm going to tell you something. This is the book. And a funny story about this book. Before 2016, this was October 2015, Sam and I, we came up for a month, and I started to, fish Delaware a little bit. This is early October, and I remember I was in Hancock. There's a shop. There was a shop there. It's no longer there. I call it a shop, but it wasn't a shop. It had a few things in it, and I happened to just go in there. Hey, can you give me a tip on where to go? And he said, you know what you should do? You should buy this book right here. And I was like, $25, huh? I'm like, all right. He gave me like one spot to go to, and I was like, all right, I'll buy it. From now, I had never heard about this book. Okay, this is 2015, October, so we're talking 3.5 years ago or so. I didn't know about this book. And at the time, I thought I was just giving him $25 to give him $25. Little did I know that this is the most important book you could possibly own for fishing the Delaware River. This thing is the freaking Bible for the Delaware River. It's the absolutely best fishing book you can own for the Catskills, bar none. And when you dig through this thing, if you read this thing from cover to cover, and you know everything this in this book, you will be a freaking Delaware River expert. I swear to you, you will know more than 99% of the people that haven't read this book. So Paul Weimer's Fly Fishing Guide to the Upper Delaware River. This is it. And it really can turn anybody kind of into an expert on the system. But you still need to know how to catch them. This is important. A lot of people were very angry when this book came out. This is an old book, actually. Maybe this one is the second edition. I think it's 2007. I believe this is 2007. Yeah. Oh no, disregard that. It's 2011. 2007 was the first edition. When this thing came out, this was over 10 years ago now, from what I have heard from people is that they were very angry at Paul. But I guess what, you put an IndyCar in the hands of a 14-year-old. I mean, can that 14-year-old immediately just start winning races? No, it doesn't. The 14-year-old doesn't know how to drive. So you got to be able to catch the fish. So this book is really important to know the river. But you also, maybe I'll link to a dry fly fishing, tough waters video I posted, a couple weeks ago or so. But and that's important. So you gotta know how to catch them. Just because you know where everything is, how many times have you just seen them, see the trout, and you can't catch them? So this will help you find them, but you still got to know how to catch them. If the game was just seeing them, we'd all be experts. But just get buying this book. But that's the challenge, Delaware River Dry Fly Challenge. I'm going to talk about it a lot this season, and I'll probably link to this video a bunch of times. But this is it. It's a personal challenge of mine. It's something that I'm really going to go after hard this season, really hard. Do I think I'm going to be able to accomplish it? No, I don't think this is something that you can just accomplish. I mean, this would be my second season trying to do it. I don't think this is a 2-season type of thing. Maybe someone that really is good and has been fishing around here for 8, 9, 10 years or something could make it happen. But that's not me. That's not me. This is only my third season, right? So it's third full season. So it's really like this will be my third and a half, I guess you could say, because it's June 2016. Now, did I do a lot of days? Yeah, I mean, geez, 2017 I must have did 150 days of fishing, 130 to 150. Last season I did around the same amount. So do I have a lot of days on the water? Yeah, I mean, I got 300 days out here full time for sure. But I don't think that's enough to just make this challenge just happen. Just go out there and do it. I don't think so. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out for sure. We're going to find out for sure. All right. Thanks, everyone.